See, I once told you that I met a poet 30 years ago here in San Francisco, an Irish poet who was probably long dead. I forget his name. He was a great guy. I met him one drunken night somewhere out in the avenues. And of all the people I met in those days, he's the only guy who ever wrote a poem I remembered. And he wrote a book called A Short Dance in the Sun. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me because that really symbolizes our little firefly life. What we really are is a little burst of energy. And we come along in the eons, and each of us is a little firefly, and we do our short dance in the sun. And for a while, I thought the spark was going out in me. Things were going on in my life. I was enmeshed in terrible evil force I've ever encountered on the planet. But I beat it. I beat the evil force, and now I'm liberated. I'm free. And so not only is my memoir, my book of stories of my childhood coming out called Train Tracks in October, which I'm so excited to tell you about, and I really hope you go and check out some of the pictures, me and the rifle team and whatnot, the charming stories that you've never heard before because they've not been told on the radio. But Jack Hatfield's next adventure is coming up in the spring, the second book in the Jack Hatfield series, and it's called A Time for War. Only this time the villains are not radical Islamists, as they were in Abuse of Power. This time the villains are the communist Chinese here in the United States of America, deeply implanted in this country. Fiction, of course, that's not true. They're our friends. Ask Henry Kissinger. Ask Madeleine Albright. Ask Sandy Berger. Ask Bob Dole. Ask all the other good people in America who went to work for the communist Chinese who decimated our industries like locusts. Ask all of the good politicians who went to work for those who've undermined our American industries, who took out 10,000 manufacturing plants and destroyed them, decimated them like locusts. No, don't ask Michael Savage. Ask Henry Kissinger, who works for the communist Chinese. Ask him. He's a senior fellow and a real conservative, isn't he? Or ask some of the others who work for the Chinese companies. They'll tell you what's really going on. Don't listen to Michael Savage. They know what's best for you. And then look across the landscape of America and ask yourself where all the tool and die companies went. Where did all the steel companies go? Where did all the manufacturing plants go in this country? Why? Because of good people like Madeleine Albright and Henry Kissinger, in my opinion, and Bob Dole and all the other fine, upstanding political people in the United States of America. We have them, and we don't have them anymore. That's where they went. And so the next novel is called, in the spring, A Time for War. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. That book's written.